All right, we got some parts for this, and so I'd like to go ahead and plug on and see what we can get accomplished, even though we won't be able to finish it because we didn't get the right stuff. And it's also kind of raining-ish, so I figured this would be as good a thing to work on as any. So we're gonna get started right after this. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, we're the Oliver Man. In last installments, we worked on our headlights so that we might actually have headlights. And we got a flasher too, but not in the right way. So what we determined was we got some issues still. I think that the wires on the switch are not in the right orientation, because they don't come on at the right time based on the color of the wire like they should. So I just found a couple wires that would do about what I wanted and wired it up that way for now. But we're gonna try to put it back better, more better, the way that it should be, closer-ish. You know what I'm saying? So we'll pull this panel again so we can get to it real easy and then sort it out. But let's take a look at what we got here. First of all, friends, it's kind of ridiculous when you buy this much stuff, tube things, and that little bag, and it's $247. That's a little bit much. But here's a couple rubber rings for our headlights. They were $47 a piece, so that's nice. We'll put those on that and that here after a while. This should be our original style flasher unit. Not really totally original style, but it is in the way that it bolts up to wherever it goes. And that's what I was after with that. Then down in the bag we have sadness, I hate to tell you. The thing is supposed to have a rear combination light, which on this tractor was a sealed beam. Let me put you here where you can see. So this part's right, although it was about $40 more expensive than it would have been if I'd ordered it from like Steiner. They charged me $60-some for this. No, it might have been $80. 20, 40, no, 60. And all it is it's a sealed beam white light with a shiny reflector inside, but then part of it's got red. Like this backing is coated red, and it's got one place where they cut out the silver coating on the reflector, so if you shine a bulb behind this, it'll make it red. So I ordered the little fixture that it's supposed to have. Unfortunately, they must have updated part numbers, and it's not made anywhere close to right. There is no way you're going to get this to clip on there. It's supposed to clip on like this and hold the bulb right in front of the thing and make life great. So I went on the old electronic bay and I found a new old stock one of the same exact part number, and it is made the correct way. So that should be here at some point, and then when that's here, we can finally put together the combo tail light the right way. But for today, we're not going to be able to do that. But we do want to get it where at least the white light bulb that we have in it now will work, because it is not that way. So yeah, so we're going to start our adventure by taking loose this green panel. And unfortunately the other day when I did it, I twisted off the bolt that's up here, so we won't have to take that one loose. Maybe this summer we will attempt to get that out of there, but for now, it ain't happening. I hope you can even see. I know the lighting's not very good, but I'll turn on the flashlight here in a minute and then you'll get you'll get a better view, I hope, because I'll get a better view as well. Slick, huh? Yeah. All right. Where should we begin? Well, up there is our flasher bolted to the temperature gauge mounting. So maybe we ought to swap that out first, and then we'll tackle in the wiring. See, I just clipped in an aftermarket flasher because we were using a different wire anyway. We weren't even using the correct wire. So I'm thinking that's what we're gonna do first, because we might actually have a chance of success at that part of this project. So let's do that. Are we betting that that's 3/8? I'm betting that it is. Let's try the let's try this one. Yeah, see, that's too big. It's 3/8. Let me go grab the 3/8 socket, no problem. All right, now we want to be very, very careful with this, because this tractor has the original temperature gauge and it still works. And I would much like to keep it that way. So we don't want to do anything that would harm the temperature gauge. Well, it's not playing nice here, friends. It's not playing nice. Come on. It's not playing nice. Okay, struggle bus, sure. There we go. Come on down. Come on down! You're the next contestant on stuff that I bought that was super expensive. Boy, that's a lot bigger and more obnoxious than I thought it would be. That's going to be a lot of strain on that plastic, but we'll try it. I think it'll go. All right. Now, I'm going to clip one of these in here. I'm going to clip the other one on here. And now that should be. So, what we should be able to do now is, if I reclip my flasher to the orange wire, which should be, is it this one? To this one. That's where it's going to belong. If I turn this on, in one of the positions, that flasher should start flashing. Oh no, it doesn't flash. Why is that not flashing? It comes on, but it's not flashing. Do I need to flip-floppity flip them? Do I need to put this one on this one, and this one on this one? Yep, I do. That's weird, but it has to have the right input for it to work. Okay. So we solved that conundrum, but as you can tell, it's not supposed to come on every time the headlights are on. It's supposed to come on when the red rear light is on. So it is clipped in the wrong position as far as I'm concerned. Now, let's get this out of the way. I just made a little jumper and whatnot to do that. But we need to look at our switch, which is down there. And I can see already, I bet you, that somebody has bypassed what's supposed to be. I took a picture out of the service book so that I would have it here with me. Somebody just scam called me. But there is our outline of what's supposed to be. And so what I think I'm going to have to do here, obviously the purple bat, that's in the right place or we wouldn't have anything. But everything else I don't think is in the right place. So I'm just going to pull everything else loose. Oh, and there's mouse house in the switch. That's great. Now, it appears to me that the orientation of the switch here is not correct according to my picture. So I have to do a little bit of figuring out what I'm going to do here. And what I think is supposed to be, well, pink is going to be our front headlights. So should we just, well, this is breaking my brain. I need to get this wire out from behind that wad so we can have somewhat of a reasonable, I want to have some kind of actual organization here. And that's not the right one, it's this one. Let's get this from back behind here. Get out of there. Okay. Now, if this is to be believed, I'm going to say that the pink one goes on this thing that's bent. Why is it bent? I don't know. Maybe we'll find out. But I think it goes there. Now, if I follow suit of that, then I'm going to skip one. I'm going to skip the R. And then the floodlight's going to go, the floodlight would be blue. Where's this orange yellow one? It goes to, I wonder if they're labeled and I just can't see the labels, because they don't match up at all. They don't match up at all, friends. It almost makes me want to pull this out of there so I could look at it physically in my hand, but that could also open up a can of worms. And I don't know if I'm committed to that much struggle bus. Am I? We can try it. Because I think I could... I think I will visualize this better if this is off in my hand. Oh, this is terrible. Yep, I knew that there would be struggle bus. And sure enough, if there wasn't. So we can't do that because I'm pretty sure this switch is toast. It came out the wrong way. Like the guts of the switch came apart. So now we might have a condition where nothing will work. Isn't that nice? There we go. There's L, there's HD, there's floodlight back there. I see floodlight. So floodlight is blue. So that would go there. See, now to me, HD would be headlight. But we have headlights clipped to something else. There's R. We're not using R. What's this one? Does that have a label? It's X. Oh, this sucks. That's headlight 1. Right? I'm going to assume that this goes here. And I'm going to clip. Well, this one here didn't do anything though, which tells me that that resistor is probably burned out of the switch, maybe? Let's see what, well, okay, now we have to, if we want this to go correctly, we have to hook it up right. So that's going to go back there to that. The headlights, no. Yeah, this would be the tail light, which we don't have. The headlights will be pink, which is this. All right. Now if we turn it on, position 1 is headlights, and it should be the floodlight, and it's not. So something's wrong there. Position 2, headlights, flasher light. It would be the red light. I'm about ready to destroy my phone, but let's also, whilst we're doing this, let's start over. And let's put our light into this yellow. Yeah, see, it would be on. Okay, that part is correct. That's working. Hey, it's working. Okay. So, we have headlights. Our rear work light's not working for some reason I haven't determined yet. But the next two positions, this position is bright headlights, flasher, red light, and we got that. This position will be dimmer headlights. Look at that. And flasher and red light. So that's working. Now we have to figure out why our blue light wire is not working. I don't understand what's happening here, because the other day, I swear to you, okay, there, it's working. So if it's working, and we're sending power back, then that means our trouble is in the light itself. Yay! We get to take apart stuff that we just had loose and won't be able to figure it out. It possibly, well, I thought maybe it could be a grounding issue, but I just don't know what the problem is here, friends. I mean, let's see, we got nothing here. Let's ground to here. Okay, we're not getting a ground. We're getting hot, but we're not getting a ground. So that's our problem. And that is because we've disturbed this bracket beyond all recognition. So that's a fixable problem, friends. We can make it go now. Now that we got our hardest part sorted out, we can fix this problem. I mean, we're going to be replacing this bracket anyway, so I'm not too concerned about it really. But it's good to know that it's not a fault of something that I physically did wrong. It's a fault of when we disturbed this bracket. As long as it works today, I don't care, because one bolt is twisted off and I have a new one. We will swap in a new bracket that we can tighten down correctly, and then I would say our grounding problem will be done. As a matter of fact, the bracket's right over here. The parts place just left another headlight attached to it that's aftermarket, and it's yellow, but it has the stuff we need. So we'll sort that out when we're ready to put in our red situation. But I'm pumped here, friends. Now, I thought this was going to be way more difficult than it actually has been so far. It was just a matter of the wiring somewhere along life's way got jumbled up. And I don't know who would have done that, because, you know, like I said, Grandpa didn't really like headlights, unless when the Deere dealer had it, they had the dash pulled off of it for some reason, and they took all those wires off the switch, and then they just stuck them back on. I don't know, that's weird. I sure don't remember having done that. So gentle, gentle. Come on. Come on. All right. Let's see if we can get this clipped on there. It's going to be a struggle bus, probably, because everything else always is. Come on. This is the guide style light, if you weren't aware of that. There's guide and there's Hobbs. Oliver used the same stuff too on some of them. So they use guide lights a lot of the time. But this one, in this era, they actually, like John Deere, switched. Or maybe the different factories use different suppliers. I don't know. I know that when this rubber's brand new, this is quite difficult. Oh, that's how it's going to be, huh? We're going to struggle bus it on something so simple as mounting the rubber grommet to the light. Probably. It really works better if you get this bottom part first. Oh, this sucks. Come on. Oh, I'm losing it here, friends. All right. How much of a struggle will this be? Well, it's obvious that I'm going to break this bulb if I don't just take it loose. Awesome. Awesome, we lost the screw. I figured it would be something like that today. I'm reaching the point of we need to walk away. That's very frustrating, friends. Try to make it better and then lose the stuff. That's just great. I just love it so much. Now I'm ticked off. Oh, of course we wouldn't just work. We're like 3/4 of the way. Now, come on. I hope we got it. I'm very frustrated now, especially since I'm going to have to come up with another screw for the headlights, because we lost the one that it's supposed to have. Okay, calm down. Calm down. Calm down. We will get this. This is why you always save the screws out of your old headlight bulbs. Because someday you might need one. Or all of them, like this project. I think I've used multiple ones. For whatever reason. On this project, we have struggle busted a bunch. Okay, now, will you play nice? Probably not, but it was a nice thought. Right on there. I'm glad that it's holding it tight, because then it won't lose them, you know. It's just the struggle of... It probably doesn't help that it's cold and the rubber ring sat in the truck all night. That's probably a lot of what our struggle bus problem is. But there we go. Now we'll turn it on only to find that we disturbed the ground again and it won't come on. How much you want to bet? I've lived long enough here, friends. I know how this game works. Let's turn it on. Work light? Nope. Told you. I told you we would disturb it enough that it wouldn't work. Come on. That's really super annoying, friends. Really super annoying. So, okay, headlight. Okay, light. As the case may be. Just work. I'm getting very frustrated with you. Very frustrated! I don't know, people. I try to do something nice, and it just never ever wants to work out. I mean, we know that the trouble is here. It's not getting the ground. Yeah. Let's take the bolt all the way out. Awesome. I like it when I drop the tools. Did I drop that bolt too? Awesome, I did. Okay. Eventually, what's going to happen is this is not going to be a ground wire because I need the two wires to be, yeah. So I think my problem is actually I think we're going to table this again, friends. Because the trouble is not from the bracket to the fender. The trouble I'm finding is from the light to the bracket. And I actually have another solution for that, which is totally redoing everything. What I mean is what am I trying to say? I found another headlight housing on the electronic bay for $15. And I bought it because I'm afraid that when we go to take this one out of there, it's not going to play nice. So we may end up replacing this whole housing anyway. So it may not be that big a deal that this isn't working like I wanted, you know? It's kind of stupid that it won't just go ahead and, you know, work for today. But, you know. I've got a very redneck fix to this that I think we're about ready to employ, because we've reached the point of no return right now. That bracket's junk anyway, so there's not much more we're going to do about that. Ouch, stabbing ourselves in the hand, that's what we live for. Sure. Struggling? Absolutely. Absolutely, we're struggling. Okay, now, we're not getting ground. Why? What we're going to do is we're going to cheat in a stupid way. As soon as I find the thing I need, I found some right here, but that's kind of in use. Well, stay put, don't you fall over. Now, I know you've been drinking, but hey, calm her down. I need this piece of wire that you're kind of tied to. Have you figured out what's going to happen yet? What if we did this? This is so stupid. But what if we touch that ground there? Come up over top. We lost our connection, but this is going to probably work. Come on. Or not. I thought maybe I could jumper externally the ground from one thing to the next, but it's not wanting to play nice. Plus it looks stupid. We'll just do without the rear work light for now. We know that it works. See, there's the... I can make it work by touching her up. That's really weird that it... Huh. I hear it arcing. It works. It just doesn't work. So, that's fine. Alright, so we just did all that for nothing, but that's okay. That's okay. We know it will work when we just get it a good ground, which we will do when we get the actual brackets on. But if we turn our positions, we now have the correct stuff, including the dimming feature, which I didn't think was possible anymore. So, that's handy. Like I said, I'm disappointed about that back one, but we're going to be replacing probably 100% of that with different stuff, because the bracket's no good, and I have a feeling when we start taking that light loose, it's so rusty. I just don't think it's going to work. And the one that I found is already loose from the bracket, and it looks shiny. So that's probably the one we're going to roll with. And then we'll start over and put that rubber on that one again. Won't that be fun to do the same thing again that we just struggle bust with? And actually, we're not done, because we have one more rubber ring to put on. Isn't that going to be fun? See? Oh boy. Do we want to struggle bus with it? I think so. We bought the stuff, we might as well put it on. I'm pretty bad about buying parts and then they just sit on the shelf waiting for something to fail. Well, I think I would rather just put them on now and be done with it. And our front two headlights they're golden, good to go. They work great. At nighttime, it's beautiful. You can get to the stuff. Oh, it was sweet going out there with that. Before I climb over, though, I think we're going to put this panel back on. Maybe. We'll struggle bust that too. I gotta have a light here because I have to get this on the outside like that. That's on the outside like that. It should be very, very simple. Yeah, the unfortunate thing of my, what do I want to say? A while ago when I tried to take the switch out, it's like the center shaft pulled all the way out. So we'll probably be putting a switch on it too one of these days. But we're going to ride this pony into the ground as far as it'll go. Good, good. Good tractor. I don't know if I ever said it or not. I'm pretty bummed. I was pushing a tree and I creased this hood again. So one of these times when we have it off, we'll have to do something about that, because that ain't gonna work. But otherwise, we have her in pretty good shape. I mean, as compared to it's been its whole life. Well, let's struggle bus with that one. I don't think we need the, I don't know, maybe we did need that light for you. Does that help you in some way? I'm going to hope that I can get this one without taking the bulb loose. All you got to do is push it through. Or not. We're gonna try it anyway. We're gonna try it where you can't see anything because I've got you right. Oh, we're gonna destroy it. Isn't that nice? Come on. Come on. Come on. I've got something neat to show you. Come on. I always think this notch, maybe this notch would let it like guide in there, but it doesn't ever seem to want to do that. What did I do with the screwdriver? Oh, what a joke. It's not funny, but it is a joke. Oh. Come on. You're so close. It's like mounting a tire, but not really. It's a very frustrating ordeal. Come on. Come on. Man. Problem is arthritis. It's real, friends, and it hurts. And that's what's getting me right now. Carpal tunnel, I don't know what you call it. But all that stuff. We're like 90% there. And I keep making it worse. There. There. Maybe. You can turn it on there, then you know you got it. I think we're good. Oh, boys. There. Now, do we have everything we hoped and dreamed of? Everything except a rear white light. But like I said, we'll get that in the next go round. We'll let the rest of our parts get here. We will we'll have that bracket painted so that it's ready to go. Then we will, when we start this the next time, I hope we got enough wire, because I hope we don't have to start over, but if we do, whatever. And because we need to change it. I put a wire and a ground wire up through there, and really what we're going to have to do is have two wires going through, and we probably don't have room in the channel for a ground wire. We're just going to have to live our happy life, probably. I'll try it, but you never know. But it's going to have to get its ground from being bolted to the fender and conducting through. It's kind of bizarre. I mean, the way that they grounded headlights, they just riveted the thing or whatever to the housing. So then every piece along the way has to be super clean, or it won't get a ground and it won't work. And that backlight will actually have two lights in it, since it will be a combo tail light thing. So I don't know, but we got the biggest mystery sorted out today, which I thought was going to be a lot more of a struggle than it turned out to be, and that was the switch. I thought sure that we would end up where the switch was not working properly inside, and then we'd have trouble, but it ended up that it was just somewhere along life's way all the things got flip-flopped, And that is very bizarre to me, like I said, because Grandpa would not have done that. I mean, he could have cared less about headlights. So it just makes me wonder when that took place. I mean, the tractor did go to the dealer a couple times in its life and they worked on it. So whatever. I mean, I attempted one time to get the lights going too, so maybe I flip-flopped some of those, but I don't remember that at all. As a matter of fact, I was thinking, and maybe I'm wrong on that one too and thinking of something else, I was thinking for a while this switch was stuck and it wouldn't work, and I got it freed up even. So time will tell, friends. I don't really know what the deal is there, but I do know that we're in better shape now than we were. We're down to the fact of only worrying about getting the correct bulb and stuff for that, and then we'll have exactly what it's supposed to have for a change. Then we can take it on the road without, you know, we can have actual flashers and stuff. We never had that before, friends. I mean, we never really took it on the road either, though, because it was a death trap. I mean, until I had the front axle rebushed and stuff, it was not the thing to drive down the road. But we are making slow progress, and like I said, it's slowly becoming in the best shape that it's ever been in my lifetime. So definitely a lot more usable than it was a year ago at this time. I mean, putting that steering in it makes it so much better. I mean, I can't even describe on camera how good that is. I mean, it just made it like a new one, basically. I was looking at that. That's the seat belt scrunched up with trash on it. See? That's why the fenders are rotted out from stuff like that, you know, sitting full of dirt. What do you do, though? It's the way they are. The design. They could get trash down in them and then fill up. So one of these days this summer, we'll take them totally off and we'll start over and we'll cut this out however far back we need to and re-weld in some sheet metal or whatever we got to do. I really hate to just replace them because, like I said, whatever aftermarket ones are probably not the quality thickness of steel that these are, but I don't know. We'll see how bad that is. I mean, it's going to take a lot of hours of cutting and cleaning and welding to make them back the way that they're supposed to be. But I sure would like them to be nice. And then, like I said, when we do that, we'll order the nice factory wiring harness and replace what we just did, because it's made nicely one piece, and it has a branch that goes to that fender. It goes to that power outlet, and then it comes around here with a plug to plug up the lights for this. So that's what we want. It's just a matter of making it happen. And so, yeah. So I guess until next time, we're going to leave this one here. Let's leave this one here with some success. Let's admire this one more time. Let's turn these, looky there. Headlights and a flasher that's wired to the correct kind of flasher, and everything is good. So, yeah, until next time, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. After watching what you just saw, do you feel like your IQ has dropped lower than your credit score? Well, there's no reason that both of us should be miserable, so go ahead and hit that thumbs up and leave a comment. That stuff costs you nothing, and it really helps me out. Your banker may not approve, but I know mine will. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.